Okay, was it my rejection that bittered William to the prospect of marriage for the years that followed? Was I the reason he married so late? After I met Elizabeth, I later found out that she was the daughter of Harold of Weymouth, a wealthy knight and supporter of Stephen. Elizabeth was only 14 at the time of the wedding. Bishop Waleran wed them in the Cathedral of Shiring, and everyone of importance was invited to the feast. Elizabeth is a gentle girl who probably felt honoured to be chosen to become the Earl's wife. I dare not imagine how William treated her. One more reason to finally put an end to all of this. Found the secret chamber, confessed to Philip that we burned down the cathedral. Philip's book strongly criticised by the church. I've got no power over that. The war has ended. I had no impact on that. Found Elizabeth only after you entered the hut. I thought the weeping was inside the hut. You brought her some soup, you helped her warm up with a blanket, you kept quiet when Walter entered the hut. I did not! Oh, can't even get my choices right, game. Chapter 18. Outlaws.
Dear Francis, the letters I have written to you over the years surely could be bound into a book. But only you know what my words in those letters amount to. It is different with the book I have written. It has found its way into priories throughout England and beyond. Because of my book, I may have to talk to Bishop Henry. But that is not the only thing that keeps me awake tonight.
The discovery in the crypt.
Behind a wall in our crypt, Jack discovered a hidden room. We do not know who built it. But it is likely that Prior James hid there, even after he was said to have drowned. That means he was alive when we met in Kingsbridge on New Year's Day, the day of his burial. And Jack told me he saw a man in the church the night it burned down. Was that him? And if so, did he burn in the fire that night?
Okay, so we are writing about the book. I thought we was already finished talking about the book. Ooh, Kingsbridge.
The dust storm and the drought are taking their toll on all of us. Thanks to our town wall, we are safe from the Earl and the outlaws. We've heard of places nearby being raided. We believe the attackers were William Hamley's men. We have enough food to last us another few weeks. But life has come to a halt. Martha believes there will be rain soon. But the storm is only a harbinger of rain. I hope that she is right.
Okay, and then we're going to write about the book again.
Jonathan worries about my book. The Divine Soul. In Winchester, he heard that Bishop Henry was less than pleased by what I had written. I am not naive enough to pretend I do not know why. I wrote that hope is godly, and since God made each of us, hope and salvation are only to be found within ourselves. Henry sells hope, and I am giving it away for free. If the church should ask me to clarify my position, of course I shall do so. But I feel I must give our people what they need in these desperate times. And how could I write anything else if this is what I truly believe?
Okay, end the letter.
It must be well after midnight.
No.
With you, I can be honest about what truly troubles me. Jack told me that he was responsible for the fire in Kingsbridge. I know that it was a long time ago. He told me it was an accident.
There we go.
And I don't think Tom knew either.
My God. Save yourselves! The Saint! We must save the Saint! Fire! The whole roof is in flames!
My God!
Don't go in there! But Alphys, the Saint! We must save him! No! No! Don't go!
And as horrible as it may sound, I cannot find it in my heart just now to forgive Jack. Maybe because this confession comes too late, and from a man who I have learned to trust. This is the truth. I should get some air, Francis. The storm has settled down.
Not sure I understand his problem there. Like, it comes too late. The confession comes too late. You know, he's had all this time where he could have said something, admittedly, but the conscience pricks at different times and bothers us at different times. No one was hurt, I think, is one of the things we were told. Other than maybe a guy who everyone assumed was already dead anyway, and there'd already been a funeral for. Yeah. Like, if he'd gained from it, like, if he had done it deliberately, with Tom's knowledge, and once they've gained it, they go, oops, by the way, I can understand. But, yeah. Especially with it being an accident.
If James died in that fire, then what happened to his remains? He was never properly buried, and that is Jack's fault.
No, it isn't! Because his remains wouldn't have been buried properly anyway. This doesn't make any sense.
A magnificent cathedral, but I would have been more than content with the old one, had it not been burned to the ground.
Okay. Nothing. Alright. Let's go around to the front then.
Hello? I thought I saw someone.
Yes. Yeah.
That came from the kitchen.
To the kitchen! I'm gonna get ambushed and knocked on the head.
Oh, it's you.
You startled me.
I thought I heard something. Was that you?
No, but I heard it too. Maybe Aliena came back.
No. She's asleep. She returned a few hours ago. Damn it.
Jack.
Sorry. There's someone in the kitchen.
Yes, I think you're right.
Stay behind me. I'll go ahead.
Assuming these are the outlaws then. 2 on 2, we can take him.
There's someone in here.
Although they're armed, obviously.
Outlaws. just after food. I will talk to them.
All right.
Please, listen. Oh. We don't mean you harm.
Philip, be careful! Damn it! Philip, throw me a stone!
Oops. Ah. Oops.
Ah! Jack, no! It's him. Brother Marcus.
Brother Marcus?
He took Cuthbert's keys to steal food here from the kitchen. Because of me, Remigius found out. And he left. We never saw him again.
Looks like he came back. You didn't mean for this to happen.
No, but...
What about him? Don't be afraid.
Ah! Why did you do that, you animal? I will get the others.
We all have the divine soul, Philip.
What?
He's just a child.
Just a child. Jack forgave the child. Just like that. And I forgave him. For that was what he had been when he arrived in Kingsbridge. Just a child. Who was I to judge this man for not confessing earlier what he had done?
Exactly.
I had never told his wife, Aliena, that I was responsible for her fate, and for her father's. Even that night, when we all met, I did not dare to tell her.
The walls of Kingsbridge weren't enough anymore. The outlaws had found a way in. We weren't safe in our homes.
So this is what it has come to. Kingsbridge is under attack.
Why didn't Uncle Richard chase them away? Why?
Now, do not exaggerate. This is not a siege.
We only saw 2 of them, and one of them was a child.
But they almost killed you.
Just calm them down.
They were just looking for food. They didn't mean any harm.
It's the drought. It destroyed all the crops. They must eat something.
Oh, is everyone going to blame?
Desperate or not, they're only the vanguard of a full-scale invasion.
If we had a decent Earl, the people wouldn't be starving.
Everyone just says the line anyway.
It is all too easy to blame a desperate child. Forgiveness is much harder.
It is.
But forgive we must.
Can you? Forgive, I mean.
I already have.
Hamley is the reason for this. He's to blame. It's that simple.
Well, he won't be Earl for long. The Treaty of Wallingford has been signed at last. It's only a matter of time until things change.
What treaty? Winchester is in turmoil about this right now. Stephen and Maud have signed the treaty. Maud's son, Duke Henry, is to be crowned the next king.
And, by agreement, all lands are to be returned to their previous owners.
But Stephen will continue to rule as long as he lives.
The earldom will be ours again.
It will not.
Why the bloody hell not?
Bloody hell.
Language?
No one will enforce this until Stephen is dead.
What is to be done then?
Ask them to stay strong, defend the outlaws. Well, there isn't a new king. Ask them to stay strong. Oh, Tommy, give food to the outlaws. Why not?
Well, if they're hungry, can't we just give them something to eat? I'll share.
We should, and we will. But there are too many to feed them all.
We must do something.
Well, I cannot sit quietly and wait until Stephen dies of old age. The Treaty of Wallingford is in place. I won't wait for another 17 years. Not when I'm so close to fulfilling the promise I made to my father.
You're right, but it wasn't William Hamley who came here last night. It's the outlaws we need to worry about.
Well, what do we do about it?
Turn outlaws against William. Use them as soldiers? No, I think Jack would speak up. Well,
A few more months like this, and we'll be where they are now. We should support them, not fight them.
You are right, of course. But how can we help?
We could provide weapons for them to fight Hamley.
To fight him? You mean to pillage and plunder? That'd be more likely.
What about his mother? I've heard that Hamley still listens to her, that she still has a say in Earl's Castle.
Yes, let's tell his mother.
it'll get him in trouble.
If we spoke to Regan Hamley, we might not need a physical confrontation at all.
That'll never work. We have to assault them and take back our father's castle. Even if that means fighting alongside the outlaws.
I don't like either choice, to be honest.
Neither do I. So, what do you think, Alena?
I think the outlaws have got a better chance of going well with the meeting. We'll go with the outlaws.
I will talk to the outlaws. Maybe we can find someone who can speak on their behalf. And if there's no one, then we will.
I'll ride with you.
You won't, Cub. Not with that leg of yours.
Your mother is right. Besides, if we all turn up, they might think we mean them harm.
We want to go into the forest, don't we? Oh, we've got the little...
Our hopes of meeting allies on the road to Shiring were fading with every mile. The only people we saw were sitting by the side of the road, broken and starving. Shiring was riddled with death and despair. I'd heard that Wigley had just been raided by outlaws, leaving them almost entirely without cattle. Maybe someone there knew where the raiders had come from. But Cowford, on the other hand, had a recent falling out with William Hamley. There was a chance that they would be quick to join our resistance.
Well, I'll go with Cowford to get that.
We entered the village. There was a weary young man trying to repair a roof. He pointed toward a ruined mill.
Might be able to get some allies.
Hamley's mill, he called it, which used to have the right to grind all grain from the nearby villages. That was until a few days ago. Hamley had come to collect his share and, due to the famine, was met with empty coffers. Enraged, he'd killed the miller and had taken every last bag of flour belonging to the starving people of Cowford. Many had fled into the forest, desperate for their lives.